The sun sets over Dubai, painting the Burj Khalifa in gold as Amal Al-Manssuri adjusts her diamond earrings before the mirror. At 32, she embodies the perfect Dubai wife, elegant, educated, and envied. The reflection staring back at her wears a designer gown worth more than most people's cars, yet her eyes hold an emptiness that no amount of luxury can fill. The driver is waiting, Tariq announces, barely glancing at his wife as he checks his watch. At 38, Tariq Al-Manssuri has everything a man could want: a thriving business empire, social prestige, and a beautiful wife. What he lacks is the ability to see the woman withering behind the perfect image he praises so highly. 5 minutes, Amal replies, her voice soft yet practiced. This is their routine: attending galas, making appearances, maintaining the facade. Tonight's charity event at the Amani Hotel is particularly important. Sheikh Ahmed Al-Manssuri will be there, and Tariq never misses an opportunity to be seen with his powerful mentor. The elevator ride down their luxury Al-Basha home is silent. Amal thinks about the painting she left unfinished in her secret studio, the only space truly hers in this gilded prison they call a marriage. The Amani Hotel ballroom glitters with the elite of Dubai society. Women draped in haute couture and jewelry whisper behind manicured hands. Men in pristine dish dashes discuss business deals worth millions as waiters circulate with champagne. "Ah, there he is," Tariq says, his face lighting up with genuine emotion for the first time that evening. Across the room stands Sheikh Ahmed Al-Manssuri, commanding attention despite his 58 years. Distinguished with a salt and pepper beard and an air of absolute authority, the sheikh acknowledges Tariq with a slight nod. "My friend." Sheikh Ahmed embraces Tariq warmly. "And the lovely Amal," he adds, taking her hand. Unlike his husband, the sheikh's eyes linger on hers for a moment too long. "You look radiant tonight." Something in his gaze makes Amal's breath catch, not because of attraction, the sheikh is old enough to be her father, but because he seems to actually see her. "Your contribution to the Children's Art Foundation is most generous," Sheikh Ahmed tells her. "I didn't realize you had such passion for the arts." Surprised? Amal glances at Tariq, who looks equally confused. "How did you know about that?" The sheikh smiles. "I make it my business to know everything about my investments and the people connected to them." He gestures to a waiter. "Perhaps you'd like to see the exhibition we've funded. The children's artwork is quite remarkable." Before she can answer, Tariq's phone rings. "Excuse me," he says, already walking away. "Business call. Amal, entertain the sheikh until I return." The exhibition is tucked away from the main ballroom. Children's artwork line the walls, vibrant, honest expressions that make Amal's heart ache for the freedom they represent. "You're an artist yourself," Sheikh Ahmed says. "It's not a question." Amal stiffens. "How could you possibly know that?" "Your hands," he replies simply. "The way you look at these paintings, the small paint stain on your wrist that almost covers your bracelet." His observation is frighteningly intimate. "My husband doesn't know," she admits, surprising herself with her candor. "Many things happen in a marriage that remain unspoken," Sheikh Ahmed says, his voice dropping lower. "Tariq is focused on building his empire. Men like us sometimes miss what's right in front of us." "And what am I?" Amal asks, emboldened by his attention. "A caged bird with magnificent wings," he replies, his eyes never leaving hers. "I've watched you at events for years, always perfect, always proper, always dying a little inside." Amal feels naked under his gaze, her carefully constructed walls crumbling. "You don't know me." "But I'd like to," he says simply. "I'm establishing an art patronage program for talented Emirati women. Your perspective would be invaluable." 2 weeks later, Amal finds herself alone in Sheikh Ahmed's Zabel Palace. Tariq had insisted she accept the invitation to discuss the art program, anything to please his mentor. The palace is a masterpiece of architecture, traditional designs seamlessly blending with modern luxury. Sheikh Ahmed's private collection would make museum curators weep with envy. "These are extraordinary," Amal says, examining a series of rare manuscripts. "Beauty recognizes beauty," Sheikh Ahmed replies, standing closer than propriety would allow. "Tariq tells me your family arranged your marriage." "As was yours, I imagine," Amal counters. The sheikh laughs. "Indeed. My wife, Amira, is 29, younger than you, yet with the soul of someone much older. Like you, she fulfills her role perfectly." "And is she happy?" Amal asks. "Happiness is a luxury most of us trade for security," he answers. "Show me your work." Hesitantly, Amal opens her sketchbook. Sheikh Ahmed stands behind her as she turns the pages, his breath warm on her neck. His hand brushes hers as he points to a particular drawing, a woman looking out a window at the desert beyond. "This longing," he murmurs, "this is truth." His touch lingers, and Amal doesn't pull away. The wrongness of the moment clashes with the intoxicating feeling of being truly seen. For years, she has existed as an accessory in Tariq's life, beautiful, expensive, and ultimately ignored. "I should go," she whispers, closing the sketchbook. "Of course," Sheikh Ahmed steps back, ever the perfect gentleman. "But I hope you'll consider my offer. The program meets weekly. Your talent deserves nurturing."
As her driver takes her home, Amal's mind races with conflicting emotions. The sheikh's attention was inappropriate, yet she craves more of it. The guilt she feels is tangled with an unfamiliar exhilaration. At home, she finds a note from Tariq. "Business dinner with investors. Don't wait up." Amal stands in their massive, empty house, her husband's dismissive words ringing in her ears. She takes out her phone and sends a text confirming her participation in Sheikh Ahmed's art program. The reply comes instantly. "Excellent decision. This is the beginning of your freedom." She stares at the message, heart pounding. Deep down, Amal knows she's taking the first step down a dangerous path, yet something inside her, something starved for connection and recognition, won't let her turn back. In the perfect facade of her life, the first invisible crack has formed. The Women's Art Patronage Program meets every Wednesday in a sunlit studio overlooking Dubai Creek. Amal tells Tariq it ends at 4, but in truth, the other women leave by 3, leaving her alone with Sheikh Ahmed until sunset. "Your technique has improved," Sheikh Ahmed observes, studying Amal's canvas. 6 weeks into the program, and their routine is established. They stand closer than necessary, his hand occasionally brushing hers as he guides her brushstrokes. "My husband asked if I'm enjoying my little hobby," Amal says, unable to keep the bitterness from her voice. The sheikh's attention darkens. Tariq has many talents. Appreciating a woman's depths isn't among them. Later, as his private driver takes her home, Amal touches her wrist where his fingers lingered. Every week she promises herself this dangerous dance will end. Every week she returns hungry. Sheikh Ahmed has invited us to a private viewing of his new acquisitions, Tariq announces over a silent dinner. He specifically requested you attend. Amal keeps her expression neutral. That's kind of him. It's an honor, Tarek corrects, annoyed by her casual response. His collection is world-class, and he rarely shows it. Whatever you're doing in that art program has impressed him. If only you knew, Amal thinks, guilt churning inside her. Sheikh Ahmed's private gallery occupies the entire top floor of his palace. Floor-to-ceiling windows offer panoramic views of Dubai, the city lights beginning to twinkle in the early evening. My husband had to take a call, Amal explains, finding Sheikh Ahmed alone among his treasures. Business never stops for Tarek, he replies with a knowing smile. Perhaps it's for the best. There's something I wanted to show you, something few have seen. He leads her through a hidden door to a smaller, dimly lit room. Inside, rare manuscripts and ancient Arabic artworks create an intimate atmosphere of hushed reverence. These date back to the Golden Age, he murmurs, standing so close she can feel his breath on her neck, when poetry and passion were celebrated, not hidden away. Amal's heart pounds as he recites poetry in classical Arabic, words of longing and desire that hover in the air between them. When his hand touches her waist, she doesn't pull away. We shouldn't, she whispers, even as she turns to face him. Yet we will, he answers before his lips meet hers. The affair transforms into an elaborately orchestrated production. Sheikh Ahmed's trusted assistant arranges for a private apartment in Al Ain, away from Dubai's gossip circles. Encrypted phones, coded messages disguised as art program updates, carefully crafted alibis. To the world, they remain Sheikh Ahmed Al-Oyan, respected business leader, and Amal Al-Manssuri, devoted wife of his protege. Behind closed doors, they become different people entirely. For Amal, it's not just the physical passion that entraps her, it's being truly seen. Sheikh Ahmed discusses philosophy with her, values her opinions, treats her mind as equal to his own, things Tarek has never done. You've changed, Tarek remarks one evening, surprising her. For a terrifying moment, he thinks he knows. Have I? She asks carefully. You seem happier. The art program was a good idea. He returns to his phone, oblivious to her relief. The first cracks in their careful deception appear at a women's luncheon. Amirama Aloyan, the Sheikh's younger wife, studies Amal with uncomfortably perceptive eyes. My husband speaks highly of your artistic talent. He has never shown such interest in the arts before. Amal forces a smile. The program was his initiative. I'm merely grateful for the opportunity. Ahmed has many initiatives. They typically run their course. The implication hangs between them like a blade. You missed your nephew's birthday celebration. Amal's sister Layla joins her on the balcony, away from the family gathering. Mother noticed. I had a commitment I couldn't break, Amal replies vaguely. With the art program, the one sponsored by Sheikh Ahmed, something in her tone makes Amal tense. Yes. Why? Be careful, sister, Layla whispers. There are whispers about his special interests in young artists, women who suddenly receive his patronage and then disappear from society. That's ridiculous, Amal snaps too quickly. Is it? Layla raises her eyebrow. His reputation is impeccable. He's Tarek's mentor, Amal interrupts, and Tarek is blind when it comes to the Sheikh. Layla squeezes her hand. Just be careful. Men with that much power take what they want and discard what no longer amuses them.
In the privacy of Sheikh Ahmed's apartment, Amal can almost forget the outside world, the religious values she was raised with, the cultural expectations weighing on her, the family honor she risks with every forbidden touch. Almost. You're distant tonight, Sheikh Ahmed observes, his hand possessively stroking her hair. My sister mentioned your reputation with young artists, she says, watching his reaction carefully.
His expression hardens momentarily before smoothing into a smile. "Jealousy creates rumors, my dove. So there were no others?" "None like you," he evades. When Amal attempts to rise, his grip on her arm tightens. "Where are you going?" "Home. To my husband." His eyes flash dangerously. "You are mine now, Amal. Don't forget that." The possessiveness that once thrilled her now sends a chill down her spine, but when he pulls her back into his embrace, whispering promises and poetry against her skin, she surrenders once more. Later, as she prays in secret, tears streaming down her face, Amal confronts the truth she's been avoiding. Her soul is being torn apart by desires she cannot control and values she cannot abandon. The path she's chosen leads only to destruction, yet she cannot find the strength to turn back. 3 days, Sheikh Ahmed murmurs, trailing kisses down Amal's neck. 3 days with no interruptions. Tariq's business trip to Riyadh couldn't have been more perfectly timed. The Sheikh's desert palace, 2 hours from Dubai, offers complete privacy, a sprawling oasis surrounded by endless dunes, staffed by servants who see everything and say nothing. "It feels like another world," Amal says, gazing through floor-to-ceiling windows at the sunset painting the desert gold. "It is," he replies, "one where you belong only to me." Something in his tone makes her turn. His expression has changed, possessive, almost predatory. But the moment passes as he pours vintage champagne into crystal flutes. "To freedom," he toasts. Is this freedom? Amal wonders silently. By the second day, the fantasy begins to crack. Sheikh Ahmed takes business calls despite promising undivided attention. He questions Amal's recent texts, scrolling through her phone without permission. When a waiter brings Amal's coffee exactly as she likes it, the sheikh dismisses him harshly. "You smiled at him," he accuses after the young man leaves. "I was being polite," Amal replies, startled by his tone. The sheikh's laugh is cold. "You're too beautiful for mere politeness. Men misinterpret such things." "Like you did with me?" The words slip out before she can stop them. His hand grips her wrist tight enough to hurt. "Remember your place, Amal. Remember who you are and who I am." For the first time, fear overshadows desire. She sees now what she's been blind to, the same controlling nature as Tariq, magnified by decades more power and privilege. She hasn't escaped her cage, she's merely traded it for one with more dangerous bars. The third morning, Amal wakes to an empty bed and a message from Tariq. "Flight landed early, coming home tonight, miss you." Panic rises in her throat. She needs to leave, now. In the palace's cavernous bathroom, she splashes water on her face, trying to calm herself. The sound of Sheikh Ahmed's voice drifts through the partially open door to his office. "She's becoming difficult," she hears him say. "Like the others. Yes, I know. Perhaps it's time to end this arrangement." Cold dread washes over her. Like the others. While the sheikh showers, Amal searches frantically through his desk. In a locked drawer, easily picked with her hairkin, she finds a small leather journal. Inside, names, dates, and notes about women, some she recognizes. Artists, socialites, women who disappeared from Dubai's social scene abruptly. Her name is the latest entry. She takes photos of every page with trembling hands. Amal arrives home hours before Tariq, erasing all evidence of her absence. When he walks through the door, she greets him with practiced normalcy, a kiss on the cheek, questions about his trip. "I missed you," Tariq says, surprising her with a genuine embrace. Guilt churns inside her. "I missed you too. I left some documents in my study," he says, heading upstairs. Amal freezes, suddenly remembering the stat she'd been working on. Sheikh Ahmed's eyes,
unmistakable to anyone who knew him well. She races after Tariq, but it's too late. He stands before her drawing table, sketch in hand, his face ashen. "What is this?" he asks, voice unnaturally calm. "Art practice," she stammers. "Just sketches." "Don't lie to me." He pulls out his phone, showing her photos, her entering Sheikh Ahmed's private apartment, the two embracing on a balcony. "His driver works for me now," Tariq explains, his voice breaking. "How long?" The dam breaks. Years of silent suffering pour out. Her loneliness, her invisibility in their marriage, her desperate need to be valued. Tariq listens, first in anger, then in stunned silence. "I would have changed," Tariq says. "With anyone else, Amal," he finally says, his voice hollow. "But him, my mentor, my friend." "Friend?" Amal laughs bitterly. "He uses you, Tariq, like he uses everyone." Tariq's expression hardens. "Get out. Now." Sheikh Ahmed's office occupies the top floor of a gleaming tower bearing his name. When Tariq storms past security, no one dares stop him. "My friend," the sheikh greets him calmly, "this is unexpected." Tariq throws the photos onto his desk. "You've taken everything from me." The sheikh doesn't even glance at the evidence. "Amal came to me willingly. Perhaps ask yourself why." "You manipulated her," Tariq hisses. "You manipulate everyone." "And now," he asks, unfazed, "will you create a scandal? Destroy your family's honor? Your business?" He smiles thinly. "Or will you divorce quietly and maintain dignity?" "You don't get to dictate terms anymore," Tariq says, pulling out his phone. "I have proof of your other arrangements. Women you discarded, some who disappeared entirely." For the first time, fear flickers across the sheikh's face. "You're playing a dangerous game, boy," he warns. "So are you, old friend."
The sheikh's message comes at midnight. "Come immediately. Crisis." In his palace library, Sheikh Ahmed paces like a caged predator. "Your husband is threatening me," he seethes, "with ridiculous allegations." "They're not allegations," Amal says quietly. "I found your journal. I have evidence about all of them." The sheikh goes utterly still. "What have you done?" "Created insurance," she replies. "I'm leaving Dubai tonight." "No one leaves me," he whispers, advancing toward her. "Especially not you." Amal backs away. "I've uploaded everything to a secure server. If anything happens to me..." His hand strikes her face with shocking force, sending her stumbling backward. "You ungrateful," he hisses, all pretense of refinement gone. "After everything I gave you? You gave me nothing but another prison," she spits back, tasting blood. His eyes are wild now, unrecognizable from the charming mentor who seduced her with poetry and understanding. When he lunges, Amal dodges, but he catches her arm, dragging her across the marble floor. "Delete it," he demands. "All of it. Now." "Never," she gasps, struggling against his grip. The struggle becomes a blur of violence, his hands around her throat, her nails clawing at his face. In her desperation, Amal grabs a heavy crystal sculpture from a side table, swinging blindly. He blocks the blow, twisting her arm with such force that she cries out. The momentum sends her crashing into the marble banister. A sickening crack, blinding pain, then darkness. The last thing Amal sees is Sheikh Ahmed standing over her, his expression shifting from rage to calculated coldness as her blood pools on his imported marble. Sheikh Ahmed stares at Amal's motionless body, his mind already calculating while her blood stains his imported marble. He touches his face where her nails left marks, then pulls out a phone, not his usual one. "We have a situation," he says, calmly. "Level 1. Within 20 minutes, a team of 3 men in unmarked vehicles arrive through the private entrance. No words are exchanged. They've handled similar situations before.
The leader assesses the scene with clinical detachment. Art viewing accident, Sheikh Ahmed instructs. She was admiring the new sculpture installation. Tragic fall. The team works with practiced efficiency. Amal's body is carefully repositioned near a different marble staircase. Security footage is erased. The crystal sculpture smeared with the Sheikh's blood disappears into an acid bath. The scratches on his face receive expert makeup. "Your clothes, sir," one man says, gesturing to the blood spatters on his sleeve. As the team transforms murder into accident, Sheikh Ahmed showers and changes. By the time their official security team is alerted to the discovery of Amal's tragic accident, all evidence of the truth has vanished. The call comes at 2:13 a.m. Tariq, still awake and tormented by the day's revelations, feels his world implode as the Sheikh's chief of security speaks in carefully rehearsed tones. An accident, viewing the art collection, fell down marble stairs, already gone when medical help arrived. Tariq's knees give way. Despite everything, the betrayal, the confrontation, the ultimatum, he never wished kiss. Not death, not Amal. "I'll come immediately," he manages, voice hollow. The Sheikh suggests waiting till morning. The voice responds smoothly. Proper protocols must be followed. Religious considerations. Translation: they need more time to perfect their fabrication. When Tariq arrives at the palace, a carefully orchestrated scene awaits. Police officials speak in hushed, respectful tones. Medical examiners make notes without asking difficult questions. Sheikh Ahmed, looking appropriately somber, embraces Tariq like a grieving friend. "A terrible tragedy," he murmurs. She was admiring the Andalusian installation. The marble was perhaps slippery. Tariq stares at his wife's body, now covered respectfully. The police captain approaches with practiced sympathy. "A tragic accident, sir. We'll need your signature on the report." Numbed with shock, Tariq signs where indicated. Only later will he realize he's endorsed their fiction. The funeral adheres to all traditions. Amal's body, washed and prepared according to Islamic custom, is buried within 24 hours. Sheikh Ahmed attends with perfect solemnity, his wife Amamira by his side. Tariq accepts condolences mechanically, his mind replaying his last moments with Amal, their angry words, the accusations, his demand that she leave. Now she's gone forever. "She valued your friendship greatly," she tells Amal's grieving parents, his voice catching with practiced emotion. Tariq watches the performance, anger cutting through his grief. But what can he prove? What can he say that wouldn't destroy what remains of Amal's reputation and her family's honor? 3 days after the burial, inconsistencies begin to surface. The official police report states Amal was viewing art at 10:30 p.m., an unusual time for a collection tour. The medical report notes bruising consistent with a fall, yet makes no mention of the defensive wounds on her arms that Tariq glimpsed before the burial. Most troubling, why was Amal at Sheikh Ahmed's palace at all, given their confrontation hours earlier? Tariq begins making calls, carefully. Every inquiry meets the same wall. The case is closed. Accident. Tragic. Perhaps focus on healing.
At the 7th-day memorial gathering, Sheikh Ahmed plays his role flawlessly, reminiscing about Amal's artistic talent, her gentle spirit. Women dab at tears, men nod respectfully. Only Amamira Aluyan watches her husband with calculating eyes. When she approaches Tariq with condolences, her words carry double meaning. "Some accidents are more convenient than others," she murmurs, her perfect smile never wavering. "My husband has had many fortunate accidents in his life." Before Tariq can respond, she slips a small key into his palm. Her studio, the ventilation panel behind the easel. Look quickly. The key opens Amal's private art studio, a space Tariq rarely entered. Following Amamira's cryptic instructions, he finds a loose ventilation panel concealing a small journal, bound in red leather. Inside, in Amal's elegant handwriting, lies the truth he both craves and dreads. Detailed accounts of her affair with Sheikh Ahmed, her growing fear of him, names of other women he'd collected and discarded. The final entry, dated the day of her death: "He knows I have evidence, says I belong to him. I've backed up everything to the cloud.
Journal, photos, his threats, everything. If something happens to me, the password is the date we first met plus the word freedom. I'm leaving tonight before it's too late. Maybe someday Tariq will forgive me. Tariq sits on her paint-splattered floor, surrounded by canvases that captured her hidden soul, and weeps, for all they'd lost, for all he'd failed to see. When he finally composes himself, cold determination replaces grief. He doesn't have power or connections like Sheikh Ahmed, but he has something more dangerous: nothing left to lose. He opens his phone, enters the password, and watches as the evidence appears. Dozens of photos, recordings, names, dates, a complete record of Sheikh Ahmed's predatory history. I'll make this right, Amal, whatever it costs. Justice in Dubai moves differently than in the West. Power protects power. Authorities bow to influence. But ancient codes of honor sometimes transcend even wealth. Tariq understands this complex landscape as he plots his next moves. Official channels are close to him. Sheikh Ahmed's connections run too deep. But other paths exist if one is desperate enough to walk them. His first ally comes as a surprise. Amamira Al-Noyan arranges to meet at her cousin's house, away from her husband's watchful network. "Why help me?" Tariq asks, suspicious despite his gratitude. Amamira's perfect composure cracks slightly. This isn't his first accident. 3 years ago, a young artist from my family disappeared after ending their affair. We were told she moved to London. Her eyes harden. The grave in our family plot suggests otherwise. She hands him a silver USB drive. Security footage his team missed, and access codes to the palace's backup system. "They'll know it was you." "Let them prove it," she replies, a dangerous smile playing on her lips. Dr. Farid, assistant medical examiner, meets Tariq on the darkened parking garage of a shopping mall. The young doctor fidgets constantly, eyes darting around them. "I could lose everything," he whispers, passing a manila folder. "But what they made me write in that report?" He shakes his head. "The bruising patterns were wrong for a simple fall. Defensive wounds on her forearms, finger marks on her throat. It wasn't an accident. Will you testify?" Dr. Farid laughs bitterly. "And disappear like others who've crossed him. This," he taps the folder, "is all I can offer. Use it wisely." Tariq's evidence grows. Security footage showing Amal arriving distraught, not for an art viewing. Time-stamped photos proving the sheikh was alone with her when she died. Testimony from a dismissed palace servant who heard screams. Financial records of payments to families of other disappeared women. Each piece costs him money, favors, increasing danger. The sheikh's security people follow him openly now. Warnings come from unexpected sources. A waiter slipping a note with his coffee, a text from an unknown number. His own family turns against him. "You dishonor Amal's memory," his father argues. "Accept fate's decree. Move forward by letting her murderer walk free? By protecting what remains of your family's name? What will your crusade accomplish except more pain?" Sheikh Ahmed strikes back. Tariq's business contracts mysteriously cancel. Banking irregularities appear in his accounts. Former friends avoid his calls. Then, the direct approach. The Sheikh's chief of security, Mahmoud, sitting uninvited in Tariq's living room one evening. "My employer offers a generous compensation for your loss," Mahmoud states, placing a document on the table, "in exchange for your discretion and closure of this unfortunate chapter." Tariq glances at the figure. Enough wealth to start a new life anywhere. "And if I decline?" Mahmoud smiles thinly. "There are many ways to lose everything, Mr. Al-Manssuri, some more painful than others." After he leaves, Tariq makes one call to the most respected elder in Dubai's business community, Sheikh Zed. The old man listens silently to Tariq's request, then simply says, "Come at midnight." The Majlis Council is an ancient tradition, a private gathering where disputes are settled outside formal courts. In Sheikh Zed's Majlis, 8 of Dubai's most influential elders sit on cushions in a semicircle, faces grave in the soft lamplight. Sheikh Ahmed arrives confident but falters seeing the assembly. This is not the modern legal system he controls, but the old way, where evidence matters less than honor, reputation, and the collective wisdom of elders. We gather to address a grave matter, Sheikh Zed begins. The unnatural death of Amal Al-Manssuri. For 3 hours, Tariq presents his evidence methodically. Security footage, medical reports, testimonies, journal entries. With each revelation, the atmosphere grows heavier. Sheikh Ahmed's denials become weaker, his composure cracking. When the final recording plays, Amal's own voice describing her fear of the Sheikh, the room falls silent. Sheikh Zed looks to Sheikh Ahmed. "You have brought shame upon yourself and all who trusted you." "This is absurd," Sheikh Ahmed scoffs. "I demand real courts, real justice." "Real justice," Sheikh Zed interrupts, "is what we offer tonight. Choose public exposure of all these crimes, bringing dishonor to your family for generations, or private justice." The terms are traditional yet devastating. Massive financial compensation to Amal's family, dissolution of key business holdings, quiet exile to a remote family compound, and, most painful of all, surrender of his position in society to his eldest son. Sheikh Ahmed's face contorts with rage, then calculation, then defeat. In the world of Emirati power, reputation is everything. Public disgrace is worse than death. "I accept the council's wisdom," he finally says, the words like poison on his tongue. 1 year later, Tariq kneels at Amal's grave, placing fresh jasmine, her favorite, on the marble. "It's done," he tells her quietly. "Not perfect justice, but justice nonetheless." Sheikh Ahmed lives in gilded imprisonment in his desert compound, his name fading from public life. Amarima has divorced him, reclaiming her family's honor and wealth. The system protected him from prison, but not from the ancient codes that govern their society. Tariq touches the cool stone. "I failed you in life, Amal. I didn't see you, didn't hear you." He pauses, fighting tears. "But I heard you in depth." As he walks away, the setting sun casts long shadows across Dubai's skyline, a city of breathtaking heights and hidden depths, where truth and appearances dance in eternal tension, where justice sometimes moves in shadows, speaking in whispers rather than declarations, where even the most powerful learn that some prices must eventually be paid for the recognition Tariq never gives her.